Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Focus Forum. Delighted to say that Mr Joseph Barton has stayed on from Football Focus on Saturday to talk a few more issues. I have lots of questions for you via Twitter and email and all that sort of stuff. I wanted to start with QPR, which we touched on Saturday, but do you feel that you've had an eventful career, you've been to a number of different clubs, does this feel like the club that fits you, the way you want to play, the way you want to be now?
Yeah, I mean, when I went and spoke to them, they were a really ambitious club. I mean, obviously I'm aware of the previous clubs I've played for in terms of sort of stature. It's a little bit of a transitional period, obviously Newcastle St James Park I think holds 52,000, Loftus Road holds 18, so there's an instant change straight away. But I mean, I knew that getting involved, it was about being involved in a club, building a Premier League platform, and that's what we've come there to do, not only myself but sort of other players, and it's exciting times for the football club.
Did it sadden you the way it finished at Newcastle? Because, you seem to fit there, and the crowd, the vast majority of Newcastle supporters would like to have you back, I think. Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's been spoken about numerous times, and everyone's aware that, the circumstances in which I left, and albeit disappointing, that is the nature of the beast sometimes, and sometimes the way the owners or the people that put the money into the club want to go is a little bit different from the way a majority of the fans want to go. But I enjoyed my time there. I've got a lot of friends still there, and a lot of friends who've left there who I keep in touch with, and we all reminisce about the good times that we spent at the football club, and the good the period when we went down and coming back up, and they live with you long in the memory. I mean, they're great days.
Lots of people on Twitter want to know your highlights and the low point of your career. We'll start with the good stuff. What with the highlight? What do you look back on, and when you lie in bed at night and think, that was a great moment? What sort of comes to mind?
I mean, obviously, getting that one England cap was massive for me. From a player who was told numerous times he would never make a living in the game, to get full international recognition was an achievement, and only sort of made me want more. But I'd like to think, that's still to come. I mean, I'm 29 years of age, just turned, and I'm quite, hopeful that the best footballer of my career is ahead of me, and hopefully I'll be able to sit in front of you in 5, 6, 7 years' time and have a career highlight.
What about the low point?
There's been numerous. Yeah, I mean, we could be here all afternoon, really. It's not a 2-hour feature.
But I think people appreciate your honesty, which is rare in football. So what would you honestly tell us would be that time where you thought, either is the career all over, why did I do that? What would that be?
Obviously going to jail, without, any shadow of a doubt. I mean, it comes to something when someone who is sort of in my, public position has a downfall the way I did. Obviously, majority of it was self-inflicted, and you have to take responsibility for that. And what's important to me is the character and the way I've lived my life since that day. And I'm really proud of the man that I've become. And part of it is down to that process. And at the time, I thought maybe I'll never play the game at the level I wanted to play, or the level I was playing at again. I've been very fortunate, as I say, to have been given the opportunity to put things right, and that's what I'm in the process of doing at the minute.
Many people judge you on those past discretions and will continue to judge you throughout your career. Has going through what you've been through, and as you said, the vast majority of it self-inflicted, has that made you closer to your family and the friends you can trust? Has it made you slightly insular in some ways, do you think?
Well, it has to. I mean, it's a strange process. It's not an easy way to go through, and as I say, because most of it's self-inflicted, you have to look inwards and you have to sort of analyse your behaviour, why you do things that you do. But I was also very fortunate to meet a lot of people that were willing to help me, and that was massive to me. I mean, I didn't have the sort of social tools, or a lot of them needed to deal with, being in a prominent sort of public position, and had to learn that. But learn the hard way. Every mistake I made was, national sort of news, or certainly news within the region I was playing, and it forced me to address a lot of my issues. And sitting here as the man I am today, I'm very thankful for that, because if it wasn't for that exposure, or for the fact that I was a footballer, I probably would have wasted my career and wasted my life. And as I say, I've got to look at the positives from the situation, and I think for me they are them, and hopefully people won't slip as far, or if they do, they'll be able to use me as a sort of benchmark to say, this is what happened, this is where he went. But also on the flip side of it, to say, once he sort of learnt these things, he was able to go on and do this in his life. And for me at the minute, it's I'm totally enjoying living my life. I mean, I've got a lot of self-worth in the person that I am, and I just look forward to getting up every day and achieving things. I mean, obviously it's good for me that the sort of Twitter phenomenon sort of taken off. I mean, I've been tweeting for probably 4 months and a week.
600,000 followers. I checked before we came on. So.
Yeah. So I mean, it's, people are saying, at first I think they were sort of doubting it was me, because they were saying, well, you can actually read. And then I could string a sentence together. So
there were lots of questions about your quotes of philosophers. I mean, do you really read Nietzsche and Immanuel Kant and people like